Well, hello, all my planted aquarium friends. I'm Michelle with Mama's Weeds, and today is plant shipment day. Yay! So this is a big shipment that we've all been waiting for. So I got into aquariums when my husband bought me one for Christmas, and being a landscaper, I did want to use the fake plants. Not that there's anything wrong with them, but I just prefer live. So when I did some research, I learned that Java moss and Java Fern are good for all types of aquariums, and they're easy to grow. They don't have high requirements. A little packing, get rid of that. But they're out of stock everywhere because they're such good plants. Oh, look at that, nothing but green. Woo! I'm like a kid on Christmas morning. So I started going to pet stores and asking, do you have Java moss or do you have Java Fern? And all I kept hearing was, no ma'am, we just can't keep it in stock. No, they hadn't been shipping any. No. So then I started looking online, and a lot of those places were out of stock, out of stock, out of stock. And then I kept being patient and waiting and waiting. And then I found a company that's pretty reputable, and they did have some in stock, and they had the best ratings, and I researched them as I do everything, and they seem to be pretty good, so I ordered some from them. And my thought was, well, I'll just grow my own, because as I mentioned, I've been a landscaper for 35 years, so I know how to do that. Well, being a gardener, one thing you do is you grow for yourself and you grow for others. So what I did was got enough, a good steady stock, to just go ahead and add that little extra tank water. You want to do this with a little bit of tank water because it keeps your plants from drying out as you're working with them. So it's good this company sent me a little extra. So I got enough that I'm going to grow a lot, and they'll be available on our website, Mama's Weeds. Right now, we're just going to specialize in the Java Fern and the Java moss because that seems to be the most sought after and the hardest to get and the easiest to grow. So if you're familiar, I forgot my gloves and my hands are grungy. If you are familiar with flowers like grow in your yard, these are kind of similar to an iris. They don't require a lot of maintenance. They grow by rhizomes, as I'm going to show you. Just like an iris, a little tube that grows under the ground. Except, can you see that right there? See that little rhizome? Except these you do not plant. Don't plant them in your substrate or your soil or your gravel, or they'll die. The roots get their nutrients from the water. So you can plant them on driftwood, and they'll kind of root into that and grow. You can plant them on rocks, any kind of porous rock, river rock, all the fancies. You can even plant them on some of the decor, like the fish decor, the aquarium decor. And the way you plant them is you just put a little bit of super glue gel on the bottom, and then you hold it onto your whatever your decor is that you choose, and then you put it in the water. We'll go into that more into detail a different day, but right now I'm still opening my presents. So the reason that these are so sought after, besides being easy to grow, is you can put them in literally every kind of tank except maybe saltwater. You can put them in a turtle tank. You can put them in a community tank. You can even put these in a cichlid or Oscar tank. You can put them in the shrimp tank. The shrimp moss, which we'll be doing next, that's a really good breeding place for fish and for baby shrimp to hide, and grown shrimp. They just love it because that's a good little safety hole for them, and it's too mass and dense for predators to get in there. Oh, that's a nice one. And another thing is it'll grow 6 to 8 inches tall, so it would be good in an aquarium to be you know, a mid-ground plant, or you could even put it as a background plant, and it'll just grow up and make like a little mass, kind of like that. Isn't that pretty? And as it spreads, it just runs along and makes either a big clump, or it can kind of just spread. See how this one's kind of spread like a little line? And then it will just get thicker and thicker and be really pretty. And you can put them in the turtle tank, but the reason you can use them in the Oscar and the cichlid is because they both kind of like to root around a little bit. And because you have it planted on the rock or the driftwood, they can't really root it around. So you're not non-stop over there trying to put it back into place. Another amazing thing about this plant is you'll see on the leaves, let's see if I see one there. If you see a leaf, one of your leaves, that starts to get little black polka dots or look a little damaged, don't panic. Those are actually, I know there's got to be one in here, little spores that grow on the back of the leaves that make babies. So they're a type of like seed that grows on the back. And that's a way that they can reproduce. So see, this leaf right here is damaged. Well, don't throw it away. You can either just go ahead and leave it like that, or you can cut it and just let it float into your aquarium as a little more shelter for your fish. And it will grow the little spores, and each of the little spores makes a little baby. Here's one right here. Whoop, it's got a lot of little babies on it. So I don't know if you can see, but right here, this had little spores on it, little black dots, and then they started rooting. So these little plantlets, you can either leave on here and they'll make bigger little plants and then they'll fall off and grow along, or you can pick them off with your aquarium scissors here and go ahead and plant that separately on your driftwood or rock or whatever you want. Anyway, on our next video, y'all be sure and subscribe so you won't miss anything as we're going along this journey together. But on our next video, I'm going to show you how you can attach this to the rocks and to the driftwood. So that's going to be exciting. And then you just drop it in there. Woo, we just have all kinds of babies. Be sure and sign on to Mama's Weeds. We have the YouTube channel. We also are working on a website and a Facebook page and Instagram. Of course, you gotta have the IG if you're gonna be in there. Anyway, I appreciate you spending your time with me, and I'll go ahead and finish unpacking these and getting them ready to plant on the driftwood. See you later. Thank you.